Hello everybody, this is Data Pioneer from the Linux Unix Tech channel. I'm back out with you again today, and I'm back out on my Fedora 31 workstation. There was something that I wanted to show you in my previous video that I didn't get an opportunity to do, and so I wanted to do that today, and that is I want to show you an application called Timeshift that I'm using now on my laptop with Fedora 31 workstation. It's a great little application. The application allows you to do restore points in Linux, and I think that's great because it's kind of like Windows restore point. Works similar to that, and let me go ahead and show you. I don't have it installed right now, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the software, and we get into the software center here and in Fedora 31 workstation. And it should be under productivity. It could be under utilities, but if not, I'll search for it. And it's called Timeshift. May install it from the terminal if I can't locate it. All right, so we're out on here, and let me see if I can find it here. Timeshift. Don't see it on the list, but I know it's here. Let me go back out here and let's search for it. Timeshift. Should be able to find it. No application found. It's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and close this out. Let me get into the terminal and let's see if I can find it there. Let's do a sudo dnf search timeshift. Give me my password. Should be able to locate it here, hopefully. Timeshift, I've got it set up now with taking a snapshot of my system every day for 5 times, and then it goes in cycles. All right, so it says system restore tool. Let's do a sudo dnf install timeshift. Okay, and get this thing installed. I'm not quite sure why I wasn't able to find it in the software store, because that for Fedora, because I know it's there. I'm probably just looking under the wrong thing. I'm not quite sure. Okay, here it is, Timeshift 19.01-1. It says you want to go ahead and install it. Yeah, I do. Let's go ahead and get this installed. It's running the transaction. It's installing the application now. Yeah, this is a nice system restore application. It does not restore your home directory and root home directory, although you can ask it to do that, but that's not what it's designed for. It's really not a backup for your home directory. It's basically a system restore tool. And so it says it's completed, so let's go ahead and exit here. And let's get back out to the desktop and get into applications again. And there it is, there's Timeshift. So let me click on it. Let me bring it up, and it does prompt you for your authentication. And once we get authenticated and get in, I'll show you Timeshift. All right, so here's the setup wizard for Timeshift. You can either do an rsync or butterfuss, or you can get help. I did not install Fedora 31 workstation under BTRFS, or what's referred to as butterfuss file system, which has built-in, by the way, snapshot capability. So I'm using the rsync here, and that's what I use on the laptop. I like that rsync. And so let me go ahead and click next. And so it's estimating the system size and asking me to wait here. And you're going to encounter the same thing when you set it up on your system. And I'm assuming the best way to go ahead and do this, guys, is just go ahead and bring up your terminal in Fedora 31 workstation and just access it by searching for Timeshift like I did, and then installing it like I did, and then you have no problem. You may be able to find it in the software store. I'm not sure why it wasn't there. but it's there now, at least out on one of my installed apps. Okay, so it's estimating the system size, and it says that the select snapshot location. Here's the VBox hard disk SDA1. It's 801 megabyte, 1 gig here in size. The entire thing is 39 gigs, okay? So you get 53 gigs here, 53 gigs, and you've got 47 gigs here with 39 gigs free. Says it's not enough space here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to here and click it. That's where I'm going to ask Timeshift to put the snapshots that it takes, DM1, all right? And so I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And here's where you can select your snapshot levels. You can do monthly and keep the total number you want here. You could do weekly. You can, bump this up if you want to do more snapshots on a weekly basis. By default, it goes to 5 snapshots on a daily basis. And the purpose for that is that if you make changes in the system, changes to files, things like that, let's say you accidentally delete a file, and this is what's important about it, you can come here and go back to a previous snapshot of the system. If you do 5 a day, odds are that you're going to be able to find the one that's there prior to when you deleted that critical file. It could be photos, could be an entire album, could be music that you had, could be a lot of things. This could be a critical system file that you were working with and you accidentally deleted as well. But this will give you an opportunity to restore that, and there is a restore functionality. You can do hourly as well if you like. However, I wouldn't recommend hourly unless you just want to make sure that you get frequent snapshots. And you can do boot as well. Here I've got, it says stop cron emails from scheduled tasks. I've left it that way. So I'm going to leave it on daily. You can do both. You could do daily and weekly. All right. And so I might take 2 weekly snapshots, or let's say 4, because 4 weeks in a month. Or you can go monthly and just say 2. That'll be fine. So I can do daily and monthly. And so what this will do is it'll do 5 daily backups, or snapshots rather, not backups, snapshots of the system state and all the files. And then it'll do 2 monthly ones as well. Now, the schedule for this is random. And so 5 times during the day randomly, when the system is not busy, will this occur. It's possible that it may start when you are working on the system, okay, which may slow things down a little bit, but it depends. But anyway, you have the capability here of selecting both of these, and at least at a minimum, I would do 5 daily. And so I'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and click Next. And here I'm telling it to exclude Data Pioneer's home directory and exclude the root. If you want to include it but make it hidden, you can do that, okay? However, it's not recommended for you to do that. So I'm going to do exclude, and then I'm going to do Next. And then the setup schedule says here that scheduled snapshots are enabled. Snapshots will be created automatically for selected levels. System can be rolled back to a previous date by restoring to a snapshot. Restoring snapshots only replaces the system files and the settings. Non-hidden files and directories in home directories will not be touched. This behavior can be changed by adding a filter to include these files. Save snapshots to an external disk instead of the system disk to guard against drive failures. You can do that as well. Saving snapshots to a non-system disk allows you to format and reinstall the OS on the system disk without losing snapshots stored on it. Now I'm running this on a VM, so I'm not really concerned about that. And VirtualBox 6.0 Manager gives me the capability of creating snapshots on the VM itself. So if I run into a problem, I can revert to a previous snapshot within VirtualBox 6.0 Manager, so it's not a big deal. But I wanted to show you this application in case you want to set it up on your system if you're installing it, especially Fedora 31 Workstation on bare metal. All right, so it's done now, and so I'm going to go ahead and click Finish, and it's going to go ahead and start the snapshot process here. All right, once I create it. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here first. If I click restore, it lets me go to our previous restore points, but it says that no snapshots are selected. So there were none to pick from here, but if I had already created a snapshot, one would be there and I could restore back to that. I could select the one I want to go back to. You've got delete, you've got browse, you've got settings, and here under settings, you've got the things that I just showed you, okay? And so here we can set up the schedule again or whatever you want to do. So let me go ahead and close that. Get back to here. Here's the wizard, and then here's the menu to view the Timeshift logs or the about. And the about tells us a little bit about Timeshift. It's version 19.01. It's a system restore utility. It is available on GitHub, and here's where you go get it. Okay. And then here's the credits and the license. Let me close this. Let me go ahead and create the first snapshot for the system. I'm going to click the create button here, and it's going to go out and start creating automatically that snapshot for the system here. And I am going to go ahead and stop this process because you don't have to sit here and watch this whole thing run, because it's going to take a while because this is a fairly large snapshot that it's taking of the system. Typically, on average, this runs for about 12 minutes to 15 minutes. On my 1 terabyte hard drive on the laptop, I think it took about 12 to 15 minutes the first time through. And then on successive snapshots, it does not do a snapshot of the entire thing necessarily if files have remained unchanged. It will do an incremental snapshot, if you will. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and come back when it's completed. Okay, we're back. Timeshift has completed the process here, and you can see from this window here that we have a snapshot created on 2019 11/13 at 10:49:28. The system was Fedora 31. There were roughly 199,000 files that were impacted here, that were backed up in this snapshot, and of those, one changed, and then there was one permission change. I'm not quite sure what that was. When I was able to see that when I did, if you do browse, I think you could probably see that. Let me just do a quick browse here. No, that's not going to do it either. I'm not sure how to find that information. But anyway, I noticed that when it was completing. This process took about 15 minutes, which is normal. We do have the one snapshot here indicated, and it says that the latest snapshot is the time I just told you. We have 31.7 gigabytes of available space remaining. This is I believe I gave it 35 gigabytes. No, I gave it 50. I gave it 50 gigabytes of total space, I believe. It might have been less than that. Not quite sure. But anyway, it is done. And if I wanted to restore, I could click restore. If I wanted to restore back to a previous, I could select that one and hit restore. And I don't want to do that because it may start doing it. If there were like 5 of them here, I could go to pick the one I wanted on the day I wanted it. If I knew that a change that I had made or a file that I had deleted was after a particular snapshot that was created, I could select the snapshot just prior to that deletion and then hit restore, and that would go back and restore. I have tested this out on my laptop. I know it works, so it's a great little application. Highly recommend it to you. So give Timeshift a look. In my case, I have 5 snapshots selected on a daily basis here on this VM, and when the 6th snapshot is created, it takes the oldest snapshot from the 5 and removes it and replaces it with the brand new one. And so you always have no more than 5 snapshots, depending on the number you select. Obviously, I have 5 in my case, and so that works very well. All right, so this has been a quick look at Timeshift, a utility in Linux for restoring your system from a previous restore point, either performed manually or automatically by the system using cron. And hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video and you thought it was helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell off to the right hand side when you do subscribe so you get updated every time I update a video to the YouTube channel. So this is the Linux Unix Tech Channel. My name is Data Pioneer, and have a great day.